I want 2 girlfriends. You understand? I want 2 girlfriends. And when I thought about it, I was like, I don't mind sharing. You understand? I don't mind sharing. It came to that.
I think there's only there's only like 3 thingies.
Yeah.
It's either you're a woman, you're dating women only. You're a man, you're dating men only. You are a woman or a man, you date women or men.
I do get those natural feelings. You get jealous, you know. Especially, and it's not a jealous yoguti, I would probably like want to break your head now because you're out with my person. It's that jealous yoguti, okay, you guys are now spending time together and I'm not there.
What is that? What is that?
Yes. You know, hardcore on teenage pregnancy and all those things. You don't just bring a child into this planet, you understand? Who's going to take care of that child?
Exactly.
Did you think about when you're not going to be there? Because now you're a child, you're going to school and you have a baby.
Even this Sasa thing is not enough.
It's not enough.
You can't bring up a child with 350.
That's why parents are 7.
You're going to be a narcissistic parent because you like
child,
something that is inside me. You're thinking about you. Bruh. Parents put children a lot.
Yeah.
We go through a lot because of abazali who can provide for us, who can give us love.
True.
You know, till this day, I don't remember Uma Wamati, happy birthday, my child. How old am I?
Hi, my name is Ling, and if you'd like, you can call me Ying Yang
Yo.
Ling. And today I have
Nyama's Apelele.
Who? Apelele.
Apelele Bam. Yes.
And I go by the name of Baby Goy Butelezu Chocolate Lumshaw.
And welcome to
Beyond the Binary.
Thank you so much. And in today's episode, I am your host.
Imagine, guys.
I am your host.
Sesne hosting go.
Clock that. I hope you guys are listening and you are seeing this. Clock that.
Mara, thank you so much for making it to the show today. Askisini man, guys. Glow Ashapu. Mara, definitely she'll be joining us on the next episode. Nakanjani, it's a song. You understand?
We are together.
Yes, assumptions.
Replacing.
Yeah, Sony Bambi Lab.
Yeah.
Okay, no, man. I'm happy to be here. I don't want to lie. I'm very excited to share my thoughts.
How does it feel being in that chair?
The spotlight.
Let
me feel it. Let me feel it. Let me channel it in. But more than anything, I'm excited. I don't want to lie. I'm excited to share my thoughts with you guys, to share my thoughts with the rest of the world. And yeah, that's just it.
That's great.
He anxious, but you know what?
Don't worry.
Yeah. I'll catch up.
Also relax. Hey, happy on the last episode, people were dragging us.
Bruh.
Guys, be nice. But to be heartless. You know, we humans, we make mistakes and asicabanga ngokufana. So let's not be hard on each other. Yeah, bo?
Yeah.
And by the way, the show has a disclaimer, you know. What I say, I hold accountable, not the show. You understand? So I've been seeing a lot of people commenting, they want to take down the episode. Guys, this creativity we're bringing in front of you is not a child's play. We putting our ass down to entertain you guys, you understand? And we appreciate your support, definitely, but also the negativity, you know. There are people who think that they can do this better than us, of which Mina, from the bottom of my heart, I would like you guys to do it so that we can also learn from you. You get me?
That's true.
So I'm just asking for people to be lenient, especially the harsh comments. You know, but mina nginandaba because nobody ngathini.
We continue.
People will always talk.
I don't care.
But so that's also the whole purpose of, you know, being able to speak on such a platform. You need to be open to criticism, you understand? But also find a way to maneuver around that criticism and basically choose what to take in and what to let go of. Yeah.
And what is good this week is Uguti, we are on 2.4. 4. It's a 2.4.
Yes. Shout out to you.
Siyabonga, guys. Please keep on watching, commenting,
Subscribing,
interacting.
yes.
We really
Yeah,
appreciate.
definitely.
And also, because this is hard labor, I'm not gonna lie. The production in so ever.
Yeah.
So if you really wanna support us, there's actually a membership. You can just tap on it on the channel. Uzoibona. You pay like 20 rands each and every month. That will fuel us. Ukuthi sihlezi sininika this content. You get me?
Yes.
Yeah. You get me. So then, tell me, girl. What do you identify as? Before says my mistakes and
Okay, first of all, it's actually quite funny. Ne? I like saying I'm gay more than I'm lesbian.
what do you mean?
No, being gay is an umbrella term for being a homosexual in general.
Yeah.
So I don't know, maybe it's just me, but when I say lesbian, hey, I feel off nyana. I just like saying,
like the
I just feel off nyana about saying I'm lesbian when, you know. But
Yeah.
I like to say I am gay or queer. I use those terms, and I also identify as a STEM. So for those who don't know what a STEM is, both masculine and feminine.
Oh, so you kind of switch.
Yes, I'm a versatile lesbian.
Oh, versatile.
Sure. Not
Oh, so are there any like judgments you get from people by identifying as a STEM? What challenges do you go through?
Yo, there's a lot. I don't wanna lie. You know, the same way there are challenges or, you know, like certain opinions around bisexuality is the same as a STEM.
Is
Because people are
How
like,
am I
you must
bisexual?
choose
Today
sides.
you are,
Yeah, but you can't do it
tomorrow,
now. What are you? You understand?
But you strictly date women.
Yes.
Have you ever slept with a man?
Oh, we're getting there already? Okay.
No, I'm just trying to like get the
But
basics
yes,
of you.
I have. And it wasn't even the first time with a man.
Okay.
Yeah, my first time was with a woman. But then later on, I did with a man, just so, you know, because my friends were like, you need to be sure, my sister, you know. And remember I told you about people-pleasing thing. I was like, you know what, maybe, how do I even know that I am? You understand? So I went through all of that, and then I decided, this is not for me.
Nee.
This is not for me.
Do you see
so
yourself dating a man maybe in future or
No.
someday?
No,
Okay.
I don't
So
see it happening.
felebele.
Aye.
So felala.
Yeah. In fact, let me just say because sexuality is fluid in our community.
Nee.
Yeah, in our community. Anyone in our community, of course.
And you also poly.
So boya good.
Yes. And that's actually an interesting conversation.
So, Leng, since you're saying you're a STEM,
Yeah.
would you say Moghelings is a STEM or is just
Oh,
gay?
the gay version.
Yes,
Nee.
because
Interesting.
he's now more masculine and people assuming that he's straight. So, would you say that he's a STEM or maybe she?
What are they
I
pronouns?
don't know.
I think
Let's
their
just say
pronouns, let's just say
Moghelings.
they, them. When you're not
Yeah.
unsure, just say they, them, because we are unsure of
Hey, there's a lot
what
of
their
rules, guys. We
pronouns
can't
are.
keep
I
up.
didn't too
Brunei,
much.
we are the 1Ks.
1,000s.
In terms of Moghelings, honestly speaking, I feel like I said, anyone can be whoever they want to be, right? And just because you lean into one side doesn't invalidate the other side, which is what this person is basically going through. You understand? But with them, it goes back to their religion affecting their choices, meaning this person feels more in tune with who they are when they're more masculine, which is why they even decided to change their name to Banere now. Because we know Moghelings as Moghelings because
Yay.
they were feminine, you understand? Now Moghelings is now more masculine, presenting right now, and they like to be referred to as Banere, right?
Ne.
So I would say it honestly goes with what you're comfortable with. That's the whole purpose of actually being versatile, because you can change whenever you want, but it doesn't change who you are inside.
Nee.
It's just an outer appearance, and it makes you comfortable. It means it makes you comfortable from the inside. Yeah. But I wouldn't say Moghelings is a STEM. You understand? But I would say that right now, they're just being comfortable with what works for
Being
them in terms of where they are in life. They're more comfortable in masculine clothing. You understand? And it's also getting affected by their religion. So we could see, because I don't feel like if Moghelings actually took religion so seriously, in the beginning, they would probably change. But because they're taking it so seriously right now, this person feels the need to change their appearance, because I believe also with Christianity, it's very, very like tricky because in terms of how he's basically like representing himself is because I feel like they want to fit in. You understand? They want to fit in because when you're Christian and you're gay and you're looking like that,
So,
can't go into church looking like that.
Kind of like he thinks when he's wearing a weave and he's praying to God, God is laughing with, ha ha ha, who is this?
Also, the giddy trend. I think it's trends because the girls, hey, bayamhlangela,
Yeah.
maga ubanele.
Ushilo
More,
ukuthi like he's straight now.
Did he?
That he's straight. Did he say that?
No, he
Ukuthi-
didn't.
No, he didn't.
So what
we
is
can't
wrong?
assume.
Yeah,
we
he's
can't
not.
Assume, yeah, we
Abantu
can't assume.
phoba-
It's just that, you know,
Bakhulumelana.
when he's in his masculine side, then he gets
He feels more
the
acceptable.
most views, most in. Ke business into it.
Oh.
Nah.
And it's also those people who are waiting for gay people or lesbians that someday they will change.
Yeah.
I don't know what is the excitement in that. For example, if I'm a lesbian today and then I'm with a man, people are gonna be excited over that as if maybe what we are is not real.
True.
Kinda. For me, I think it's that.
But we after 9.
And honestly speaking, I think it also goes into this whole Courtney and Lexi conversation.
My
You
goodness.
understand?
Who give a mang
Court and Lexi are basically, well, how we saw them. We thought they were a lesbian couple, right? Because they're doing woman to woman. But what we found out is that they never addressed us as to what they, represent as.
No.
So
wait.
that's where the big deal is.
You know what is actually conflicting my thoughts when it's coming to Ulex?
Yeah.
Is that she was on the Start show, Ka Easy. Do you know Easy?
Yeah, I do know.
And Natalie.
Yes.
That show Yama starts.
Yeah.
So does this mean Uguti, is she also a bisexual start? She's wearing masculine, but then she's into men as well.
I think it goes back to a conversation of what a person identifies as to begin with. If they never said it aloud, we have no right to assume.
Yes,
right?
people like
That person-
assuming.
Yeah, because I think you guys also mentioned it good. People would think you're like a hardcore mess because of how you dress. You understand?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get
yeah.
misjudged.
Ooh,
you understand?
man,
So I think it goes back to the same thing with this whole coat and legs thing. Ne? How they present themselves to the world isn't just about how they dress, because they actually do change clothes. You understand? People just assumed that because the one that's always more masculine is the one that is the stud. So they get judged based on that. You understand? Yeah.
I think they did mention that they're pansexual in the beginning.
did.
Yes.
Pansexual killer, the LGBTQIZ+.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the one where you do all of them.
Yes.
All of them.
But
So,
honestly, Mina, personally, I think Uguti, there's only there's only like 3 thingies.
Yeah.
It's either you're a woman, you're dating women only. You're a man, you're dating men only. You are a woman or a man, you date women or men. There's no other way. Whatever that comes in the middle, Uguti, you pansexual, you bisexual, you are non-binary. I just think Uguti, they all bisexual because they are into
Both genders,
Both
yes.
genders.
excuse me. You know what I believe? That's the reason why we're here, right? To educate ourselves. And it was Pride Month not so long ago.
Oh my God.
And-
Oboyin.
No,
wearing
actually,
heels.
it was just the after party. But I feel like as queers, there needs to be a change in our way of thinking each and every year in
We're
terms
not
of pride.
very open-minded
Nah,
people.
when you say you're a queer person, I think we were discussing it with Madam Mapa today, Uti. In terms of our community, people can be gay, but they're also not queer. Being queer means you are involved in the politics of who you are. Outside of yourself, you fight for people's rights that are just like you. Like you can fight for trans men's rights, right? Because you understand the problems that they go through. You understand? That's being queer. It's not just about your sexuality alone. That's being queer. Meaning when you say you stand up for people of your sort, you stand up for their rights. You understand? You stand up for who they are, what they do, what struggles they go through, and also validating them. You understand? Things are never like, remember I keep saying things are never black and white. If someone says they're pansexual, it means I previously had a partner who was pansexual, right? They were masculine presenting women. They did say that they are a woman, but whenever that person would see a feminine gay guy, they'd say, I would date that person.
Ke mang ke your ex?
No,
Hey, that's it.
like ex ya khale.
Oh.
Ex ya khale, God, not that guy. But yeah, it's those things that we need to understand. How would you feel if your partner would tell you right now that I would actually date a queer a gay guy, or a bisexual man? I would. Those are things that you need to understand as a gay person in general, because it involves your community.
Yeah,
you understand? It does happen. There
Now
are
it's
feelings that
always
are
a
like
shock
that.
to the
You need to be
community.
curious. You need to be curious. How does that happen? How are you a masculine presenting woman? You said you don't like, penetration, and yet you would date a feminine gay guy.
Is it about penetration?
That's what pansexuality stands for. It's never about the genitals. It's about who they are attracted to, regardless of their gender.
Every day we learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now,
So that's why we shouldn't judge.
so now they're
in
doing Istembu. Talking about Istembu, have you ever been in Istembu?
I know one person.
Di trapolo tse.
You guys, and for you guys to say Istembu, there are two different meanings basically. Well, with our normal language, we know it as Istembu, right? Which is polygamy. There's polyamory, and I don't think there's an African term for that. I'm not too sure if there is, but polygamy is when one person, primary subject, is dating multiple subjects.
Okay.
Ne? That's polygamy.
Okay.
Then you have, let's say, 3 people dating each other. That's polyamory.
Oh.
Yes, that's polyamory. So probably, let's say me, you, we all dating.
In
Or
one relationship.
we all dating with her as well. The 4 of us. That's polyamory. You can add as many multiple partners you want.
What Sima is in, because
Yes.
the Ayanda has what is this? 2 wives, and then they don't date each other.
Ay,
The
mara
wives.
yes, imagine na ba promote fela, no?
You don't think it's
so?
real?
Yeah, the song, the guy is having a song.
Man, I think Usima Uteni.
What's in
You
it?
think she's in it?
I'm telling you.
And people were actually just asking Muti,
I'm
why are
telling
you
you.
into this? Because you're way too young to be involved in, umuntu. In fact, umuntu
Umuntu wethu.
because it's a lot. It's a lot, and I feel like honestly,
know, I
So
think
how was
money
it for you,
talks.
like when you were in the gay polyamory? Ne? So how
It's
was
polyamory,
it?
yeah.
How be jealous, Chomi?
Okay, I'm gonna be really honest with you guys, ne? In terms of polyamory, I do believe the human heart can and is capable of loving more than one person, ne? And we see that with our normal relationships. You can love your mother, you can love your father, your siblings. That's it's real. So why is it an exception with romantic partners?
I'm not sleeping with my mother. Chomi.
Why is it an exception?
More like it is soul tie, Chomi. So
understand.
tie twice.
But in terms of my experience, I do get those natural feelings. You get jealous, especially, and it's not a jealous yoguti. I would probably want to break your head now because you're out with my person. It's that jealous yoguti. Okay, you guys are now spending time together and I'm not there, and then I feel jealous.
So you
understand?
wouldn't mind your current partner to...
No, not current. Current. But
Oh,
yo,
current.
No. In the shit.
No, we're not doing that, baby. We're not doing that. We are not doing that.
How did you get into that?
How did I get into that?
that?
You know what's funny? It was a big idea, yam.
Convince kanjani?
A big idea, yam. Let me
Serious?
start where it all started. Well,
Threesome.
even before,
Chomi.
even before the people that I was involved with, ne, I actually had the idea myself. I think it was something I always thought about, and I don't know how it came about. Just like sexuality, I don't know how it came about, but it came to a point where I just felt like, no, man, I want 2 girlfriends. You understand? I want 2 girlfriends. And when I thought about it, I was like, I don't mind sharing. You understand? I don't mind sharing. It came to that, And then, fortunately, by that time, I saw which the other couple was looking for for another partner, right? They were looking for another partner. And then, fortunately, I was the chosen one. I said, so basically, but I wanted it before I met them. Yeah? Then I even said it to them as well, too. Actually, I was very much involved in wanting to get 2 girlfriends, and I didn't succeed with that.
No.
And now
I'm losing you. Are you saying that you dated Jay while
And
a
the other
dater
one?
with the girl? But who
yeah.
No. Yeah?
Yes. Yes, I was dating
So
both
you
of
were
them.
as part.
Then you
Yes.
stayed with them.
Yes, but how it happened, the fact
What?
that
Salana.
no, angisalanga naye. It was because she was doing things in the relationship that Jay was unhappy about. And when I came into the picture, it was that thing Yoguti Jay was already done with her. You understand? So it was never Guti I broke them up. No. The issues were already there. You understand? The issues were already there before I came into the picture. And I was actually pretty mad about it. I'm like, okay, being Tandileshem, I really liked you. Like, you know,
Why
like
are you doing
and
this?
she just fucked it up because I found out it was okay. She was already fucking it up before I came into the picture, and they've been doing that before me. So I was not the first girl they did it with. You understand? So that's how it transpired. And then also the same kind of situation came about into my relationship with Jay. You understand? It ended up being the same, or not even the same, but a similar situation, where now we were doing things with girls. It was going nice and smooth, and then there was a time when we were personally together, not even with people, or you understand, when you just have conversations with a partner. And she mentioned that when we had issues in our relationship, and when we were starting to lose the spark, she mentioned that we should add another person to
bring the spark back.
revive the spark. And I was like, that's where I knew it was
girlfriend
done.
will kill me, shame.
That's when I knew it was done.
My
No,
girlfriend, one look, inbox, a comment, I go through it. So I
You don't
levels
recommend.
Hey, me too. I can't.
Don't
Yo,
recommend.
my girlfriend is so possessive over me.
But I feel
Very.
like it's
But I love it. I belong to her. She belongs to me.
and there's
I
nothing wrong
wanted
with
that.
monogamy.
Yeah.
There's also nothing wrong with polygamy. There's also nothing wrong with polyamory. You understand?
Yeah,
there's
Just finding your
absolutely
grounds
nothing.
into how to deal with it and finding the right people who because you
It's
can't
a
force
preference.
people. Yeah, it's a preference. You can't force someone who's monogamous to actually get into a polygamy when they are
Nah,
not. You
that would be
understand? If they
torture.
really love you, Shem, they will sacrifice themselves to that point. You understand? Which is what other people do.
And I've heard allegedly you and your ex-partner, you kind of like harass the other girl.
Harassed.
Yes.
And each other.
But it was not her consent. And then you
Allegedly.
guys, allegedly.
Aibo, I'm shocked because this is news to me. This is news to me. But what I know is that she basically, Mama, you're referring to Mama, ne? She basically was the one that was talking about, I don't know what Jay did, not even me. What Jay did, apparently.
Are you
in
guys
the-
like cool?
We're not cool. I'm not cool with either of them. I'm not cool with either of them. Why would I be cool with either of them? No, it's actually the fact that Mama was basically saying things about Jay, you understand? And I don't know how true those things were or not, but I would like to believe Jay because I was like, some of those things are what?
You know, I thought you knew everything that was happening with
No, some of
the
the
relationship.
things, some of the things Mama mentioned were things that happened in their previous relationship. I was not there when they were dating. Those are things that happened when they were dating. So I couldn't stand for some things that I don't know of. You understand? So this person was being accused of things that happened when they were dating, not while I was there. You understand? So that's why I was like, I don't know anything about this, and I
Does
cannot
this
address
thing
it like
work
that.
when you don't have money? Like,
I serious.
I'm broke.
Already one
I'm
partner.
struggling with taking my girl to Rocker Mamas. Imagine now there's 2 packages. Oh, what guys?
I think you make
This
it work.
week Iggy or next week
Next
Iggy
week you
or.
go.
I think it works. That's where I was even mentioning the part of being jealous. Would see one person, or in fact, 2 of them would want to go out. You understand? They not get jealous. Would say, okay. Obviously, if you're going to take one person out, you're going to have a budget for that person. Next time, you're going to have a budget for the other one. Next time, you're going to have a budget for all of you guys. But normally, we would have our own money. So it wouldn't really be such a, a bummer or would you know, I don't have enough money. No. Because at the same
Have
time,
you
you're not
ever
taking.
felt like imbalance within the relationship?
that's what I'm
Ukuthi
thinking about now.
Omunye is loved
Loved
more than
more.
the other. Like, ebenithengela flowers, both of you at the same time. That's a lot.
It
Have
didn't
you
even
checked
get to
net
that.
frolic?
And haneleta magudzugudu ali dzigizige hi kwa kamula.
What is that? What is that? Come on, Gutu.
Ali zaka mola. Neliba i3 kompetong chomi.
Yes.
Cho.
We do it like all together. If the other one wants to tap out, they're tapping out, they're sleeping and watch us. Simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Such concepts, ne? They are concepts that basically feed into the human desire more than they feed into relationships desires. You understand? When you're dating your partner, obviously you are not allowed to be looking at other people and all that. But
No, I
once
am
you're dating
allowed.
and no, like in terms of like looking at someone in that
No,
way.
I tell her, babe, muhle lo uyambona. And then she will agree
Konje
ukuthi,
u-uncle
yeah,
waffles.
muhle. But then
No, that's different though. Celebrity crushes.
No, we open, yes. Vele abantu, we are attracted to people. Even if you are in a relationship,
Yeah.
when a honey is hot and it's passing
you
you,
say,
like,
Joe.
damn.
But if you
So I
wanna
tell
go
my
beyond that,
girlfriend, no, we don't act on
Aye.
it, but we do say, yo, umbonile ubani muhle.
but then where does
Sim
that come
compliment
from?
so too. It's coming from a human desire.
Yeah.
The way we're
Exactly my
not
point. The whole polyamory thing as well comes from a human desire more than it comes from social constructs. That when you're in a relationship, you're supposed to only see your partner as the only most attractive person.
You know,
ever.
it's
But when
not
you're in
only
those
that.
And
things,
it's not true.
you're allowed to
yes.
actually do stuff with a third
Wash your
person.
eyes.
I think this whole thing was designed because it can be very dangerous and risky. You understand?
In terms of?
To people who are jealousy. It's for people
Yeah.
who can't hold anyone to themselves.
Yeah.
You see those people who love freely to an extent yokuthi they don't care at some point. But you get people who care entirely. You understand?
Yeah.
So we can't, and I don't act kwabantu that I'm attracted to because I respect my relationship and my partner. You understand?
Yeah.
I know she also does, but we talk about it. We do.
But then the same concepts also go for these kind of relationships with polygamy and polyamory. Those things are still there.
I mean, I know I don't want anyone licking my girlfriend except me. Yo,
Same.
Personal preference.
ne.
But also
I'm too jealous.
different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, then you have a big heart.
Yeah.
So for you
It
to
takes a
do
lot.
that, it takes a lot.
It takes a lot. That's what I'm saying.
It
It's
takes
not
a
that it's
lot.
not possible. It is possible. Because if you're willing to basically open up your heart for someone that you know that has multiple partners, yet you want this person alone, but you know you can't have them to yourself, so therefore you have to compromise.
I think it's called agape love. You see that love without conditions.
Yeah.
Where you allowing people to
Yeah.
experience life
Yes.
for themselves.
Exactly. That's what it is. So my human
beautiful.
experience is based on going beyond like what's normal and societal norms. I don't conform to societal norms. I don't conform to what's wrong and right in front of people's eyes. I go with my heart and my mind.
Exactly.
I trust that.
And it works for you.
And it
truly.
works for me. So currently when I say
Singaphela.
I don't want a polyamory relationship with
You
my current
don't.
partner, it means I'm a fool. Maybe with the next partner I might want it, but not with this one. And they can't convince me otherwise because simply I said I'm polyamorous.
Yes.
You can't convince me. If I don't want it with you, I don't
Mara,
want it
Mara,
with
guys,
you.
do you think Sima is into that shit? Meaning
Potentially,
it's money.
Potentially, I feel like
guy
we
has
just said
money,
it
though.
now.
He does, but like I was saying, I think get it trend.
Keep promo.
Keep
You say-
promotion.
Mina
Now
ngithi
what?
they
Being one of those
dating.
PR relationships.
Usambibele, bra, you say, let the papa on that challenge. Wambambibele.
I think she's confident like that because
Baya
she knows
promote,
that
obviously,
it's accepted.
Mary Tembe, like
Is it? It's
Mawelele
accepted in
and
terms
this
of-
girl.
No,
The-
guys, they are
the partners.
dating. Sima was very shy on one of their lives. Do you follow their content? No, like I think they are actually dating for real.
That's
Even
what
the
I'm
second
saying.
wife was mad at who is this? They were on a live talking about it. They are actually, it's real.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
If
not
you
a
really
promo,
are
it's
into
real.
someone, if you are
I mean, I
really into
think-
someone, you're going to allow almost anything.
I give things time to see if it's real or not.
Ne.
So Bona after 3 months.
But then
Yeah.
It's a prank.
it goes back to how far you're willing to go with someone.
Yeah.
And if it's actually really love at the end of the day, if you're willing to go to a certain extent, you understand? So I think it goes back to Kelani and Kimang KW something.
Is it Kimang Quinn?
Quinn, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it
it's
also
Quinn.
goes into that because now everyone
It's
is saying
K1.
K1.
Yeah, but K1.
Oh, interesting. So I think it goes back into that as well that, people are judging her basically saying that she dates almost every person that she works with. You understand? But also some are saying it's just a PR thing, with just so that their music can pop but she already has
No,
the
but I
fame. Why would
think-
she do that?
For it to pop
Kaylan
even
is
more.
fucked up. And then I think she also went out and said that she's a bipolar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So for me, hey, and she always get the hottest Hafez about dumb, a 2 minutes relationship to the next one.
Do you think it's because her mental health issues affect those relationships?
Definitely.
Yeah,
you
they
understand?
do.
Definitely.
Bipolar.
Definitely. Imagine a bipolar, you don't know, you said you happy.
Yeah, the mood swings are crazy.
Yeah.
It's,
The mood swings are crazy. I've experienced that with someone. So
Yeah.
No, not
So I mean, I
bipolar.
understand.
No, not me.
The other
I've
parts.
dated someone who has bipolar, so I do know that
How
the mood
is
swings,
it?
the things that they do, and then when they come back to their senses, you're like, "Do you know you just did that?" And they in awe. They're like, "No."
It
Like,
ends there.
do
We are
you
now
end up being the
lovey-dovey.
crazy one? You'd be like, you
Oh,
don't understand what you just
transferred,
did,
bipolar.
and they're okay after that. And they're okay after that. So mental health,
It's very.
it's a lot. I don't wanna lie, it's a lot, and it affects relationships. You know, this is why I tend to basically give so much thought into mental health, because I don't wanna lie, I'm an advocate for mental health, and there's so many things that I've learned for so many years that I've studied into the psychology of humans. And it's the fact that I feel like at this point, if I didn't go to varsity for what I study for, I'll probably be geekinally doctorate in
Have you ever
psychology.
dated a narcissist? What's your take on narcissism?
I haven't dated a narcissist before, but I do have an experience of someone who's a narcissist in my life currently. And I think once you start realizing them for who they are, you start being okay with a lot of things. Whether you react or not, they really don't care. That's how they lack empathy. They don't care.
It's
whether
another
you cry
level,
or
dog.
you laugh or they can't even give
They can't
compliments.
feel.
Like
I don't
they can't
even
feel.
feel.
It's like they're not humans.
They
It's
don't
like
feel-
they're
they-
not humans. Like
Others they
I've
even
never.
put them as real examples of demons.
Sure.
Bra, umuntu abe selfish to an extent yokuthi
You don't know what's got into them.
akazwa velo, akazwa nothing getting to her or him.
That's true. I think I followed Nick Rams, right? I followed Nick Rams and her story of basically coming from like a narcissistic background, and I could relate a lot. And I understand. Sometimes you end up looking like the crazy one in the public because you come with this story where you are the victim of what you went through, and people are like, "Hey, when I say you always talk
They
about
don't
your
believe.
trauma, and these things happen. We're black people. Some stories are relatable to certain people, but they don't understand that in some cases it's actually a mental health problem or a personality disorder that someone has, and it's affecting everyone else, including the victim who stood up to say, "Yo, I'm tired, guys. This is narcissistic
I'm
abuse,
done."
and I'm done with it." You understand? So it's a big deal.
It's even more complicated when your parents are narcissists.
Sure.
It's the hard one, when your parents they don't see you as a child, but they see you
as
as
an extension of themselves.
that is the most
Yonke is
painful
about their
shit.
reputation.
This side you facing poverty, ngapha abazali they are narcissistic. Ukuthi nje life is tough out there for other people.
It is really tough.
So people should tap into their health. It's actually very important. It's part of who you are, because most of the time we live in our heads.
True.
You understand?
That's
so
true.
just try to keep your head clean and clear and make it your happy place.
Okay, in terms of you guys, are you guys aware of your mental health issues or your attachment styles, your conflict styles, your love languages, how your trauma built you and made you and molded you?
Yes, I'm very much aware.
The progress from that.
I call it, I take it as a spiritual journey.
Okay.
That's how I would like to see it in that manner. And it actually shapes who I am from how I grew up. It's affecting me even till today. But then what I'm grateful for is that I can see Chomi, you see the trauma layer, now it's back. Now you
Childhood
feeding
trauma.
With it now.
Now you are
We
feeding
all
it.
have,
So I always try to be aware of myself, where I am, why I'm doing what, So I know my traumas, I've acknowledged them. Ezinye, there's nothing I can do about them.
Yes.
Because if you focus on it too much, you end up forgetting to live,
True.
Trying to heal yourself.
All your life. Too much.
Also, do you
I
guys
also
believe that
have,
healing is like a destination or it's just a journey?
Nah, it's a whole journey throughout
It's a
your
journey.
life. Every day you have to heal. I have to heal ukuthi umuntu wami uthe izolo. I have a big nose.
Yeah.
You
But
understand?
even if you've healed, the void will always be there.
Right.
So
No, just let it go. unless you're
No,
talking
Munga,
of death void, you know. No,
Anything got a big nose. Your alus body with a big nose.
But I feel like all of those things, mental health problems in general, affect people in relationships, affect people in friendships, affect people in family. But more than anything, I think for a very long time, because like I said, I've always been an advocate for mental health, and I've always, said how trauma bonds, basically mold you, right, as a person. And your background, where you come from, Ekaya, that's basically where your trauma started, right? Because when people say charity begins at home and traumas and everything,
my girlfriend
starts from there.
You see, sorry to interrupt you, I always have a problem with people who bring children on earth, not knowing how to take care of them at the younger age.
Yeah.
My whole self is built by how I grew up.
True.
It's affecting me till this day. Uzothola umuntu akasebenzi, akathini, akanalutho unabantwana abayi-7. Akazi esikoleni ukuthi balala bedleni, uyazala nje. Uyazala. I mean, I have a problem with that. Like, even till today, I am afraid to bring a life lana emhlabeni because I'm afraid ukuthi am I gonna give them yonke into abayifunayo, because I never got anything. I had to build myself. I've been alone, bruh. It's sad ngoba abazali bami bayaphila, ba-right. They just take nje from me. You understand? Nobody has ever poured anything into me. You know, it actually got into me. You know, my matric, I was alone.
Same, bro.
Sure,
I was
so
alone.
painful,
Nobody was there for me. I had to build myself, take myself to school in NSFAS, trying to make life.
I'm so sorry you went through that. That's painful.
Yeah, we went through the most.
But
that's
I'm
painful,
fine with it
bruh.
now.
But I
We are
think
fine.
the Wabona right now, it has actually affected how you see bringing another life into this world.
I'm scared.
So you can already tell that you haven't healed that part of you. You understand? Because you didn't have someone who was there for you.
No.
And therefore, thinking of bringing another life, you already feel incapable of taking care of that person.
Yes.
Because the people who were supposed to take care
Mentally,
of
I'm
you were
also
not
fucked
there.
up.
And we're still going through
Yeah.
it till this day.
And you have to be the one dealing with it. That's the most problem about, trauma, the most traumatic
But yes,
thing
maybe
you
I
can
haven't
go through.
healed because I hate abantu abazala, abantwana ufuku ingane inamafinyila dry, abantwana balala bengadlanga, they eating Movite every day. I don't think ukuthi if you're not financially stable
Enough,
although but abantu if you think like that you are a classist. No, but I think abantwana, guys, mele kube abantu abanemali or people who can provide for them.
That's why
it's
there's
not
family
nice.
planning for a reason.
It's not
There's
nice.
family planning for a reason.
It's not
to
nice.
see if you're actually in the right state of mind,
To have a
financially,
child or a
physically,
family,
to actually have a family. Because it's something that you plan. You don't just reproduce for the sake of reproducing. That's why people are so, hardcore on teenage pregnancy and all those things. You don't just bring a child into this planet, you understand? Who's going to take care of that child?
Exactly.
Did you think about when you're not going to be there? Because now you're a child, you're going to school and you have a baby.
Even this
It
Sasa
doesn't
thing
make
is
sense.
not enough.
It's
man.
not enough.
You can't bring up a child with 350.
That's why
madness.
mines are 7.
That's
Literally
madness.
times 350.
That's madness. And you know what the funny part is? Our parents actually would be so much against prevention more than they would be if the child brought the kid into the world. And they're also against abortion.
I salute people
because
who
of
do
that.
abortion. I will always vote for abortion.
I also
Rather
stand
than
for it.
umziselana emhlabeni ingane ukuthi uzoyisokolisa, bra.
And now the child is carrying traumas. They didn't even ask to be on this earth. Even sometimes with our circumstances, they
Not
basically
abortion,
remind you.
at least it will
Ngathi the back when they favor that
adoption.
they got you here.
Hi, boy. If you made sex and then you see ukuthi you can't take care of the child, it's not a child. It's still a fetus. It's just cells.
'Cause
So
somehow
do abortion. Unokuthi umzisa
it's not
experience this life thing.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not
It's not
easy.
easy. I
Okay.
feel like I do understand that from a personal point of view, from someone who, let's say right now, you can have a say with you, I would abort. But once you know that there's something
It's
inside
not
of you,
easy.
you have an emotional connection to that thing. Some people do and decide to
it's
keep
trauma,
it
let's
and decide to
honor.
say,
That
I'll
is,
see.
just know
how it
from
goes.
there you are a narcissist. You're gonna be a narcissistic parent because you
that
like
child, yeah.
something that is it's inside me. You thinking about you. Bruh, parents put children a lot.
Yeah.
We go through a lot because of abazali who can provide for us, who can give us love.
True.
You know, till this day, I don't remember Uma Wamati, happy birthday, my child. How old am I?
Sure.
Where guys, no. So if you can't love your child or provide for them, or at least the basics,
Yeah.
where I have to go estraten getting
That time they know you have parents.
I bought that child.
Or they feel like you're an entitled child if you want certain things. And it's not even the fact that you're entitled. They brought you into this earth to provide for you, to make sure you have the world. That's what loving parents would say. Uti, whatever you need, I need. Whether I don't even blame kids who are spoiled because their parents love them. They love doing that for them, you understand? I'd rather spoil my child rotten than for them to lack things and say, Uti, they must accept Uti ekaya sluphekile. I go against that so much.
It makes me angry.
I go against that so much.
Malapa halekan.
Yeah, but even if that's the case, parents
I
like
want a
using
baby,
that so
I
much
will grind
against
and
us
grind.
because they want us to understand even things that we're not supposed to understand.
Plot twist, ne? God ababazali who are bringing us on this earth, and then all of the traumas they put you through, all of the abuse and whatsoever, and then you grow up, and then they say, Uguti, you must take care of your parent. It's a must, while your parent was never even there for you growing up. How selfish is that?
It's basically black tax at the end of the day. They
I
feel like,
hate it.
they brought you
They're
up, and
entitled to
basically,
it.
with them, it's like you owe them your life. And
Exactly.
you don't.
So
Why was I here?
and you think ukuthi ingane yami izongikhulula
From your poverty.
in this poverty,
No.
you are sick in the head, mzali.
Yeah, honestly.
Now you are sick in
I
the
also
head.
believe that, hey.
Ingane
I
is
also
supposed
believe
to
that,
live for
honestly,
themselves.
Yes, you're supposed to be the one saying goodbye to your child when you see them doing great things in life and be like, call me if you need me, I'll
You
always be here.
own
That's a parent that loves you. But go do your thing. It's your
I
money.
don't
When
think
you've done
that's
something,
love.
it's for you, and they make sure to even add on to what you already have to show that they actually love you and they're winning and thriving, for you. Whatever that they do, they always remember that, because once you decide to have a child, it's no longer about you anymore. Kocha, you've lived your life.
It's about
you
the
decided
child,
that
yeah.
now I have a child, I will focus on their every need. Your need comes. I don't even feel bad for Umama who has not done her hair, but the child is proper. I would say
Thank
I'm
you.
proud of that mother,
Yes.
because that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, and
Even
you
if you have
chose
to-
that life for
you
yourself.
chose exactly.
Wahamba
Nobody
kwa
said
millions yourself.
So I'll never feel bad for parents who literally go through that just to say, "Uthi yazi nakusebenzela kanzima." That's emotional blackmail, by the way.
It
You get-
is, bro.
yeah.
Talking
It is.
about ukuvula imilenze. Did you guys see the Icy and Jessica live?
Oh my goodness.
I didn't.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but
The
no social media.
Emoyenithon.
They were live.
No, what actually happens, Sonwabile was hosting this Emoyeni stream, and who's this? Ice is dating Venus, and then Jessica is friends with Venus. They both female. So they video called Icy only to find out another friend, they ukuthi uzothenga camera while they were having sex. So Veza, they were all naked in bed. It's embarrassing. It's actually sick. Where are the parents?
No, Icy is actually dating Nkosazana, not Venus.
Oh yeah, Nkosazana. Pardon me. Yes, Nkosazana.
I think that's when we have to talk about,
Is it fame? Are they chasing fame?
more than anything, I feel like with these
Mara,
teens
even this
or
friend
kids,
is wrong, but
yeah, it's just the
No,
whole
I
morality
think
thing is a problem.
They're doing all of that for clout, and this generation, if they're not careful with the internet and how they proclaim themselves
On the internet,
it's gonna be a mess.
I don't
future
think
for
they're
them.
aware of what digital footprint is,
Ne?
and knowing that these things will literally like
Follow you.
carry you throughout
all
your
your
entire
life.
life.
Follow you.
Till
Yeah.
you become a grandma, or bona my
They
grandpa,
get consumed
I
by
see
the
more.
internet so much and
In their
wanting fame,
days.
even in the most
trending.
wrong ways, because you're not supposed to be doing that at that age. You understand?
And they're young.
And
Where
they're
are
very
their parents?
young.
Nkosi
They're very young,
yami.
and some of them are even proud of their behaviors. You'd find who to this person. Yeah, I kissed your man. So what? Oh, I did this with your man, so what? And the whole internet knows, like we know right now. And we're looking at them and you're like, dude, you're gonna grow up when you're 25 or 30, you're gonna regret what you did.
Not Stunner,
You're gonna
not
regret
young
that.
Stunner being caught up in the whole shit.
Just
Young
imagine.
Stana.
Young Stunner.
True.
Which went Zagalan with him.
I think he actually disappeared off stream on the last day. And ebehambe no Venus, correct me, right? And then my buya saying that it was nice in heaven, type of shit, as if maybe they were doing something
And that
sexually.
Venus is a child, or
I think also Stunner is a child. He's also at 2K.
no, the girl. Like in terms of them being together, is the girl not too young?
I don't know, but I think all of them, they're illegal. But then the things that they do. And I mean, I personally think ukuthi Stunner did yonke lanto to erase ama rumors ukuthi he's gay.
Oh,
Now
just
he's
to prove
trying
a point.
make sure ukuthi
But doesn't Stana have a girlfriend?
it's shitty, ne? And he was fucking flipping high and drunk.
You see substances, what they can do to a person sometimes.
Sure.
And
I'm
I
the
feel like
only
all of
survivor.
these things are not, it's not like they're okay. After like probably when they blow up, it's not like they would be okay when they are sober. It's not like they're going to be okay with that.
it.
They're going to be like, yo, bengenzani,
What
and
was I
regret it
doing?
behind closed
I
doors.
mean, I think
They'll-
yes,
I
it
think
was
they
an
regret it.
agenda. I get it. They saying ukuthi Pori allegedly bonke they being child in the S. So that was a moment for him to prove to the world ukuthi
He's actually
into
not that.
women. And then made it as if, I mean, I don't buy it.
But it's also not doing it in the right way because
Nah,
that's what I'm saying.
that's
Uti,
very low.
that's
And
a
he's
low
big.
blow. That's
He
a
is.
low
I
blow.
look up to him so
Like he's
much.
That's a
big.
low
Why would
blow.
he go
I'm
on
funny,
stream and do
Lento,
such
man.
things?
Especially with kids that were training for nasty things as well.
Imagine
That's the
being
most
in the
wrong
whole
way to
thing
go about
for
it.
Yenaj. I don't know, but big ups to Uso Nwabile. He's actually doing great work on the
Twitch,
internet, Twitch. Yeah.
I think it's giving platform to basically people knowing
Our
what
very
that
own Kaisenet.
and knowing
very
what
own.
that platform offers. You understand? But it's always so sad when some
Even
platforms
Casper.
are used for the wrong things, and now we know
Casper is
Twitch in a bad
old,
way.
man, for Twitch.
He's old.
Yeah.
In the age.
Just there for what, streaming games and all that.
Udlale my games.
He's always playing games. I always see him playing games when he's
alright.
live.
But to be the Kai thing, akayekile ingane sonwabile to take the platform. Yena kumele ukuthi anake ingane zakhe mina.
Right.
I personally.
Unengane manje. Not one.
Yeah, and the wife.
Oh.
The wife is also a child.
Unomunye futhi.
Yeah, kumele ukuthi uplane owes-2.
Abone
Ayeke indaba
yamophuma
zama-stream.
kimi.
Hey guys,
But
how was
anyways,
how was the after parties in Pride?
I was about to ask,
Sure.
ukuthi siphuma kwi-weekend enkulu.
Sure.
Siphuma kwi-weekend enkulu.
Mina, the headline, Dominic. A Dominic with a tail. Yeah.
I also saw that video. Oh, Dominic was, when
With the beshu.
when they say someone is a daredevil, or when they say, this one,
Try it.
this one, yo, Shem. I don't even know what to say with Dominic Shem. I
Don't
saw
mess
the
with
video.
Dominic.
Dominic does not care.
He doesn't.
That person is an activist for a reason.
Yeah.
They
We
were
need people
born
like
for
Dominic
it.
and
No, they were
Flavini
born for
Nkosiyana.
Luguti. There's nothing I'm untouchable, and there's nothing you can do about
understand?
it. I will do whatever.
I wanna
That was a
do.
bold move.
Yeah,
that was a
to
bold
prove
move.
to Ngizwe ukuthi there's nothing he can actually do if gay men wanna wear imvunulo.
Exactly.
So makavala umlomo wakhe.
If you want to embrace your culture, if you want to embrace where you come from, then why not? Why not?
Sure.
You understand? Because I think it also comes down to us saying, Uti, just because you're queer doesn't mean you are not allowed to choose to still be an individual. You understand? You can still choose to be a part of your culture and follow certain customs. That's why even in our communities, we find people who are still living under cultural norms or customs because they basically follow through with their cultures and it means something for them as individuals besides them being queer. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys know this woman. Is it Vavi or something like that? They have a child.
Swart.
Swartne. The wife, right? the feminine one. Yeah. She was the one that actually emphasized that just because I'm queer does not take away my culture. You understand? Doesn't take away
doesn't.
who I
That's a
am
fucked up
and
mentality.
you understand? I'm still an individual besides my sexuality. You understand? So there are people who actually follow. They think once you are queer or you are in a certain space, maybe we're, I don't know, modern creatures who have no back and forth.
Yeah.
You understand? It's like you don't know where you're going. You don't
forget
know where
we're
you come.
humans.
Yeah, they forget that
Mm.
you're humans at the end of the day,
Mm.
bruh. You understand?
It changes everything.
You are allowed to have individual preferences. You're allowed to have certain values that are basically valued by your culture or where you come from. It doesn't take away the fact that maybe Mzulu or Mxhosa and you still want to follow through with those traditions. You understand?
Yeah.
Even in terms of going down to how you guys get married, you still want to follow culture because of what you stand for. So I think it's very important that we also emphasize on the fact that before anyone is their sexuality, umuntu to begin with, you get.
Yes.
But yeah, with the pride after parties.
Re kgaotse selemo.
Yo,
Ke tsamaile daylight. Ne ke le somewhere somehow.
mafating. Tell us a story.
I ngithole Spanish nane. So I was being panned.
FOMO,
I couldn't be there.
Anyways, what do you guys think about the tickets? People are saying the tickets are too expensive.
They are.
They
They are. Travis Scott or Bomang.
Honestly speaking, I feel like at this point,
Cho,
even with businesses,
it's a
they've
business
capitalized
now.
or commercialized like what pride is and what it really should be. You understand?
And why not have one big after party Kobo stadium?
Or even there by pride. Why can't we just do everything there?
I would do that. Sponsors.
You
What?
understand?
That's why I didn't even host the Joburg after party.
What was the chaos happening with Pride? Uti with Amazon, they supporting.
They are sponsoring Pride.
Yeah, they're sponsoring Pride and they are supporting in Lababantu Lab.
I think it was the Israel, Amazon is standing with Israel, I think, I actually followed up with that. And what I noticed is the fact that from what the Pride managers or the coordinators said was the fact that they were still in the process of agreeing with who's going to sponsor Pride and everything, you understand? And that lady who was doing her own thing at Zoo Lake basically caught the whole agreement thing while it was still in progress. You understand? So they confirmed something to the public. The lady basically exposed something to the public that was still in the process.
Under negotiation.
You understand? Yes. And then when the Pride organizers basically set out a statement, they said, no, you guys, Amazon is not part of this. Yes, it was the ongoing negotiations and all that, but we never confirmed anything, and we were not going to address it just because someone decided to
But
cut
also,
us
like,
short.
the Pride managers should do something that is going to be for everyone. A stadium, Pretoria, somewhere where we can all go and enjoy free
and we want to see new people.
After party, prioritize us.
But I feel like more than anything, like I said again, they're basically just trying to commercialize everything. You understand? Making money out of like queer people with everything. That's why they're having VIP sections for no reason.
You queer people, you have money.
And they want to take advantage of that. And that's wrong because the movement and what Pride stands for is basically for that. It's not even supposed to be a big deal. So things are going to be
expensive for us because we queer.
You understand?
That's crazy. Same as the rent.
And talk about that.
The alcohol.
Everything is just spiking. Everything is just spiking, and I feel
going up.
Yeah, and I think with that, what they said with. Remember, I was saying, Muti, businesses always see opportunities whenever there's a crisis in South Africa, which is currently what's happening. You understand? For that person to reveal that apparently the rand was supposed to be 7 rand to the dollar. You understand? It's that thing, Muti. It was by mistake, basically slipped out. And now we know, okay, it's actually double the amount. And the other amount is going towards all of this shenanigan that's happening with businesses making money, capitalizing on South Africa.
They're scamming us, basically.
It's because they've seen an opportunity that South Africa has money. You understand? And South Africa has money. It's just mismanaged.
Is sick, bro.
It is sick, sure.
Like nobody who is above or on top stands for what they should stand for.
True.
Except for Mkwanas.
No. If they assassinate that guy, then you know he's the only man that was honest.
We don't have a president. There's nothing.
Our president
we have
is
nothing.
an entrepreneur, not a politician who looks out for the people. I believe that person is just an entrepreneur, honestly. He's trying to just maximize on his profits, and that's just it. Let's just be realistic, because how many times have we had issues in South Africa and the president has not said anything about it? How many times?
How long has he been a president? Don't you think Uguti he's made enough money now? We should think about people.
With
is it still about profits?
No, it's never enough. It's never enough. Why do you think Abu Bezos still have millions? They still work until today. Money is never enough. Money is power. They know why they keep making money.
No, but I understand if you're making money from your business. Now they are actually exploiting us, people, our taxes. And they taking those taxes by life, by luxury, and slave queens.
That's why there is laws, or rather there are laws in terms of business, because some people don't do business in an ethical way. You understand? They don't do business in ways that could not cause any harm to the people. You understand? There's always going to be something. Just like the whole Balenciaga case this one time, when they were saying where they get their supplies from, child labor is being used. You understand? It's things like that when you go into the businesses of into the laws of business, that's when you see that some people don't do business ethically. If you had the choice to do what you want to do, they just want to gain money, and that's it. And that's why they put business law into practice, that you are not allowed to pollute the air to a certain extent, because we understand that you're producing, but do you think don't pollute.
There are people who still stand for what is this? Law, professionalism. They do everything by the book. Or we are alone in the shit.
It's very hard to say.
For themselves.
I feel like at this point, everybody's for
every
themselves.
Man for himself.
At this point, I feel like that no longer exists. It's only probably like a rare percentage of people that are still being professional.
Reality, yo.
But I don't think there are people who are still doing business in the right way, hey? Yeah, I don't think so. Even these laws keep changing for their own benefit. The people in those positions keep changing those laws because they know what it means.
Hey, it's fucked up. Actually, today I learned a lot.
Me too.
From the episode,
I haven't even spoke much. I'm learning.
Yes,
I didn't even say much.
Class.
We always talk. Before I forget, now that we're even talking about businesses, guys, with the whole twins situation, I feel like it goes back to what I just said in terms of businesses and properties.
The KZN twins.
Yes.
Who died in a building? There was a broken elevator.
Oh, yes, homie.
And they lost
their laws, occupational health and safety laws, to basically like safeguard such things from happening.
I think the other one is in ICU.
What?
True, and there was another girl before that.
That they said, and they're saying it's about the parents being reckless. It's not about that.
No,
it's the property managers who didn't make sure that the properties are safe.
They don't maintain those things.
Exactly. So it's such laws that that go about into the business world that they don't pay attention to.
They just want people to rent.
They just want the person to just rent, whether there's a leaking tap, a lift that's not working. They don't care. They don't care. So
they
such
really
things,
don't.
It's to show you that some people do business in a non-ethical way and they don't care.
South Africa
and they don't care.
Peggy Tele was right. This is the Gomorrah.
Every man for himself, Jim. Every man for himself. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, honestly. And it's always a lot of things happening at the same time. Why is that?
True.
We'll never actually finish these conversations off, which is why people should be appreciative of such platforms where we get to talk about these things, because people have to be aware. And apparently there's actually is it a shutdown on the 17th?
Yeah. And let's see if people actually take it seriously this time
around. I don't think people will take it serious. There are people who are living lavishly.
We've been planning things, hey? We've been planning things.
One day fella shut down.
Yeah,
or how many days?
I think you know what the issue was with the shutdown. They said because the G20 is going to go for their summit on the 20th, if I'm not mistaken.
But do you think people are going to go to that shutdown? Nobody's going to attend.
I feel like it depends if how serious
In
they are.
December, South Africans
It
are
depends.
drinking.
People are
They
already
should
like
think about
complaining.
that
We've already
next
started.
year.
Matriculants were
January.
already saying, siyapala, siyapala. It won't
Exactly.
happen.
It's not gonna happen.
The way people are honestly speaking, they're already giving excuses. This fella, so I don't think
In
they're gonna make
December,
it
you know,
happen.
if you wanna fix South
Shut
Africa,
down
start
January.
ka February,
Yeah.
vele January.
But I like the motive of what they're doing because they're saying
Ne.
hurt them where it hurts most, which is hurting their assets, meaning shutting down certain, institutes from working
It's
from,
actually.
just for
I think
that
the
day.
timing is bad though.
The timing is
The
bad. That's what they
timing
said. The
shutdown
timing
is
But
horrible.
it's also perfect because that's what I'm saying. Uti, if this shutdown is on the 17th and there's a motive, you understand, then the summit is going to take place Kali 20. Before they release any statements to the public that this is what our plan is, it means on that 17th, right, it's for them to basically distract them from what they were trying to do for the 20th and release to the public. So that's the purpose of them doing it on the 17th, from what I heard. So it's quite important that people participate in that because
Yes,
we
it
need to pay
is.
attention to it.
It's great, but they're not gonna participate. Chomi siyanxila ngoDecember ngoku.
Yeah, as long as-
Kanjani?
People are
shut
looking out
down
for the
on,
next sale of alcohol.
I'm
hey?
telling you.
Darling.
But more than anything, man, South Africa is a lot.
It's a mess, but it's
Yeah.
our country. We love it, and izolungiswa sithi, definitely.
Yeah.
So if people can show up to the shutdown, please go. There's something we have to do as young people to
Yeah.
fix our country. At least, you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And speaking on that, I heard from a little birdie that we have a new show. Yo, please tell us about that.
Actually, the show, boss lady, can you please tell us what is the show
Defining
coming?
what?
Defining
So it's
queer
defining
love.
queer love.
Defining queer love.
Yes, it's
Is it
about-
the same as defining love, but the queer version? Or
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
So what
Is it?
happens there?
So what's happening?
So we're bringing
what are
couples.
the updates?
We're bringing
Okay.
couples.
Okay.
I don't know straight, but we're focusing more on
Queer.
On queer.
We can bring straight, but
It's queer
It's
for a reason,
defining
though.
queer.
Yeah, it's queer. Yeah, queer for
Yeah,
a reason.
so let us know which couples you would like to see guys next.
And that's
Goya,
just
John.
about it.
Sizovula ngogoyi
No, how about you guys start actually? Why don't you Vila Masanga for us?
No, how about you?
How about me? Yeah.
How about you? But you guys look up for the new show. We're
Yeah.
just trying to entertain you, and please keep on supporting us. This thing
Yes,
we're
shout out
doing
to you
is
guys.
not easy, guys.
Definitely.
And we love you so much. Keep those comments coming, and thank you so much, Leng, for making it today to cover for Usiswethu Ongekho Right.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So please tell the audience ukuthi bakutholaphi, in case they want to follow you and you know how it goes.
And join your relationship.
Yes.
Hey, Okay, well, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure to be here and share my thoughts and all that. On TikTok, it's Monica Mabusa or Nocturnal. On Facebook as well, it's Monica Ntauleng Mabusa. Instagram, so it's also the same thing, Monica Ntauleng Mabusa. And yeah, those are my socials. And if you want to interact with me, do drop something there, okay? And I'll see you guys again another time.
Yeah. I love that.
Thank you so
guys.
much.
Shout out.
So you're telling us that we'll be seeing you soon again. on
You'll
that
be
show.
seeing the yin yang link again. What do you think?
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.